Hey you friends, it's Mads and welcome back to Gray and Crochet. We are doing another monthly recap, but I haven't actually done one of these in about 3 months, so this will be a quarterly recap. My wedding is this week and the last few months have been crazy busy trying to get everything done and dusted in time for the big day. So unfortunately, I haven't really had the time to put out much content, and I do really apologize for that. I do try and get out a video at least once a week before the whole wedding chaos happened, and I just severely underestimated how much work was involved in actually planning a wedding. So hopefully I will be back to regular scheduled content once this is all over and I'm back for my honeymoon. But for now, I just want to apologize and show you the makes that I have done over the last 3 months, which is August, September and October. So most of this has just been our Monsters Cal makes, all of it I should say, and that's just because I've been so busy trying to do other things in the background, but those makes are adorable nonetheless. We're going to start with August, and we started off the month with Zach the Candy Monster. He is absolutely adorable and tiny. Face for reference, he is so colorful. I used some mini skeins to make him. I bought a pack of, I think it was maybe about 30 mini skeins or something like that when I first learned how to crochet. I didn't really like using it, so sort of just put it away, and now since I'm in my stash busting era, I decided to try and work down some of that. So this little guy, I believe, has, let me have a look at my notes, 5 different skeins of those mini skeins. So I have used up 5 skeins from that stash. I do still have quite a bit to go, so I might throw in another project hopefully by the end of the year, maybe in December, to try and use up some more of that yarn so I can mark it off in my inventory. But that is 5 skeins done and dusted on Mr. Zach. We also had Monster Mama. Now I did a little bit of a boo-boo with this one and sewed her eyes far apart. The actual pattern has her eyes sort of touching like that and looks so incredibly cute, but I just wasn't reading instructions when I was sewing her together, and yeah, she turned out like this. Still very cute. She's got 3 adorable little babies. She looks very concerned. She's got hair, little feet, a tail, very cute, but she is very exhausted. Face for reference. So incredibly cute, Miss Monster Mama. And that was it for the month of August. The month of September we had Mr. Speed. Now a lot of him was done in August, but I finished him in September. He is absolutely ginormous and took so much stuffing. He is bigger than my face and actually quite heavy, because this entire body section is just a lot of stuffing and yarn scraps. I managed to get rid of so much yarn scraps in this little guy. That's my secret hack for all the little bits and pieces that I cut off after sewing together. I just pop them in a little Ziploc, and for big projects like this, stuff them in there so I can save a little bit of stuffing, because that is quite expensive here in Australia. But he is so huge and absolutely adorable. His eyes do come out, so cute. So you could just place it in his little hand. So incredibly adorable. I love how the eyes turned out as well. This was such a fun pattern to make, but ginormous. So a little bit exhausting, but I am so glad that I made him as part of this cowl, because he has to be one of my favorites apart from Sleepy Eddie. Sleepy Eddie is to date my favorite. He will be a close second, I would say. So cute. We also had Speed. That was Speed. We also had little Ella in her monster suit, which is also such an adorable little character, and the only human in the book. So all of the patterns we had made so far were just real monsters, and this little girl in her monster suit was the odd one out, but just in time for Halloween, this video is sort of coming out. So incredibly cute. Absolutely love the pattern. Very creative and very easy to make, I would say. Just quite a few pieces to sew together. There were these little spikes on the tail, all of the little spots, and then you obviously had to sew the head onto the body, and then the tail on, and this little head section with the eyes and the horns. But so incredibly cute. She's got pigtails. Hopefully you guys can see that. It is a little bit dark here. The sun is starting to set, but yeah, so incredibly cute. And that was my last make for September, I believe. We then just had one make in the month of October. Also currently working on Solomon, the last project in the Monsters Cal. He is due at the end of this week, so Friday, I believe. I extended the deadline too, but I did start him in the month of October. Just he is massive, so I did not finish him. But we did have Mr. Toby the Triclops. I called him the Triceratops in my video when I announced him. Very silly of me. All of that sleepless nights trying to plan my wedding. But he is so cute. I love the color that I picked for him as well. So bright and gorgeous. Face for reference, humongous, but so incredibly cute. So that was all of my makes. I made 2 projects in the month of August and September, and 1 project in the month of October. In terms of stash busting in the month of August, I technically only marked off 1 line in my inventory because I used 1 skein plus 5 mini skeins, but my mini skeins are technically on 1 line in my little spreadsheet. So I do hope to mark it off by the end of the year. It is probably the oldest yarn that I do have in my stash, just because I'm so clueless of what to actually make with it. But I'm sure I'll find a pattern that would look amazing as a little multicolored creation, and I will hopefully get that done in December, so stay tuned for that. Fingers crossed I actually make that. But yes, so 1 skein of yarn, like a normal skein, and 5 mini skeins used up in August, and that was only 163 grams of yarn, which isn't a crazy amount. It is actually the lowest amount of yarn that I did use in the whole year so far. As of August, I do have another lower month coming up, but we will leave that for like 2 minutes down the line. In the month of September, we did use 4 skeins of yarn. Speed was a yarn eater. He is humongous, so much yarn went into him. So 4 skeins used up and 266 grams of yarn. I'm just double checking because it doesn't actually seem right, but no, that is right. So 179 grams was just used on Speed, and then we also had little Miss Ella in her monster suit. So 266 grams of yarn used up in the month of September. And the month of October, we had 1 lonely creation, 1 lonely skein of yarn, and only 74 grams used up. Still a very good effort to date. I think it's about 6,000 grams of yarn for the year so far, which is amazing. Love that for us. And if I do the little math, I think we have used 50 skeins of yarn the year so far. So we've just got November and December to go. I am traveling most of November, so I'm not sure how much crochet will get done, but we shall see how we make it to the end of this year. I also actually did de-stash 24 skeins of yarn in the month of October. I just had a look through my stash, and just the yarns that I fell in love with, I just put it for sale on Marketplace, and someone really liked some of that yarn and purchased it. So 24 skeins of yarn was also de-stashed, so that would bring our total to about 74 skeins of yarn used up for the year, or de-stashed for the year, which is amazing. So great effort. Go me. But yes, that is it for this little update. I will hopefully have another one for you in December. If not, I will see you in the new year with a full recap of this entire year. I hope you guys have enjoyed looking at my little creations with me, and I do apologize again for the lack of content. Hopefully that will return to normal very soon. But in the meantime, I think you would like some of my older videos, which YouTube thinks you might like here. I will see you there. Bye.